Danny, appreciate your time today, man. I'm excited to learn more about what you guys are building with Athvance. But to start, can you give us a quick rundown on your experience working in sports and how you got to the point where you're at today?
Yeah, thank you, Malcolm. It's a big pleasure to be here. Yeah, I'm Danny Menken, 46 years old. Live in Amsterdam. I've been active in the international sport industry for the last 20 years. I started as managing director for Eurosport in the Benelux in 2006. Worked for Eurosport for 6.5 years, and in those years I became responsible for a bigger part of Europe. Um, Left them in 2012. Then I joined the Dutch private equity, merged their four sport assets into one group, Infostrada Sports Group, which was one of the leading global companies in sport data, big in sport TV production, and also developing digital platforms for sport rights holders. So, for example, the streaming platform for Fox Sport at the time. Became CEO there, did some buy and build. We sold it early 15 to Gracenote. Then I co-founded 11 Sports, where we built a new global sport broadcaster with a big focus on direct to consumer. We built offices and operations all around the world, in Asia, Europe, and America. Sold the business a couple of years ago, 3.5 years ago, to DAZN. Since then, I've been doing quite some advisory for some big private equity firms for sports and entertainment related acquisitions and strategic matters. I co-founded a couple of sports related ventures and invested in some. Um, I um, I met my Karim Ben Rajab, who was my partner in the GP in the fund, about 3 years ago, on a program called the Hoffman Process, which was a week-long journey of yeah, diving into our inner self and developing our inner self. So really retrospective into your childhood and looking at certain behavior, changing it, and so really instead of only working on the outside, working on business, also developing our inner self. So there we became very good friends. We discovered that he was a big banker, has been his whole career at JP Morgan. And that he discovered that I have a big background in sports and media, and we share the same vision on the industry, where it goes to, and the big opportunity there is within European sports, and especially on the investment side. So we decided to team up, and the last year have been building Athvance Capital, 24/7.
Really helpful context. And when you think about Athvance today from that initial idea, how much has the those initial conversations with Grim about the investing in European sports shifted from, when you guys first started talking about it to you guys actually launching the fund today?
Think it's pretty in line.
Is it?
So yeah, it is. So we focus on sport IP, and so clubs, leagues, tournaments, events, and then mainly emerging and under-commercialized sports. So it's more the tier two and three, because there we see massive opportunities. We effectively are building an IP powerhouse, where we have a central organization with a lot of shared service centers on centralized sponsorship sales, event organization, marketing, finance, etc. And then we have sport verticals. So vertical on beach volleyball, padel, on boxing, on MMA, on street soccer, and various others. Um, and outside of this IP powerhouse, we are building the whole ecosystem to monetize it. So not only the shared service centers, but also a lot of picks and shovels, tech companies, products and services, and able to monetize this IP.
Can you dive deeper into like the overall opportunity or problem that you guys were looking to solve? Like, what did you see in the marketplace that enabled you or piqued your interest in terms of needing to create a fund around these particular opportunities in European sports?
Yeah. Now, first of all, I think there are a couple of mega trends which really serve our strategy. First of all, people, and especially younger people, are much more aware of their health and of their lifespan, and it means that they live healthier, they eat healthier, they exercise more, and there's a much bigger focus on sport and nutrition, etc. So I think that's the first thing. The second thing is obviously last couple of years the huge rise of AI, which is giving people more spare time, and this will only increase. So some people say that within a couple of years, we will go back to a 2-day work week. That might be a bit too much, but let's say goes back to a 4-day work week, and everyone has 1 or 2 days in addition to spend. So what are you going to do? A lot of people will start exercising more, but they also need entertainment. And for entertainment, live entertainment is obviously crucial. And the good thing about live sports is that there is no negative impacts from AI. There's only positive impact. AI and all the new tech and services only help to enhance the live sport experience. So that is why sport is becoming more and more interesting to invest
Mhm.
in. Um, Second thing is Europe. Why Europe? We believe that Europe is quite far behind US and Asia. It's a fragmented market. It is uh, poorly managed if you compare it to the US, for example. Sport in the US always has been seen as a profession, and historically in Europe, it has been seen more as a hobby. And you see that in the people and the processes and all, definitely also in the revenues. So that's the second thing. Um, we believe sport in Europe is also underinvested, and the multiples in Europe are significantly lower than in other parts of the world, and we believe they will catch up. So it's the perfect moment to step into European sports. You see a lot of capital flowing into European sports over the last years, especially a lot of American private equity, Middle East and sovereign wealth funds. The thing is that they do not understand the European dynamics that well as people in Europe do,
Yeah.
as we do. And the second thing is mainly the big guys are joining the party, and they have massive tickets, preferably as of a couple of hundred or even a billion euro. So everything below between 1 to 250, 200 million is hardly delivered by European focused sport investment funds. So we see a massive opportunity there. It's
Mhm.
it's a blue ocean for us.
Yeah, it's really good insight. And to dive deeper into some of the opportunities that you all are looking to invest in, is there like a specific criteria? Like, what are you guys actually looking for in terms of diligence and analyzing specific opportunities across the European sports landscape? Like, what does that look like from a priority standpoint?
No, I think it's again. So we focus on emerging and undercapitalized or under-monetized sports. There need to be a good fit with the ecosystem we are building. We actually have the so-called rule of three. So it means that everything we add, every venture, needs to have touch points, synergies with at least three of our existing assets. So this is also important to say. We are not like traditional private equity focusing on silos. We are really building an ecosystem which is pan-centric, which is trying to maximize the synergies, which is scalable. So everything we do needs to fit into this ecosystem. Otherwise, we don't do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And obviously, we're seeing a lot of emerging leagues, not only here in the States, but you have the Kings League and Baller League in Europe, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
shift in media consumption and how fans engage with athletes and also their favorite sports. Um, how does that play? How does that fit into your strategy of how like this whole shift in fan engagement is taking place? Like when you're looking at emerging leagues and those type of opportunities.
100%. We really believe in a merge between sports and entertainment. So everything we do is larded with entertainment, with action, interaction, with music, with lights, with everything. So new rules, shorter formats, much more tailored for social media, for reaching younger audiences. So this is exactly our sweet spot.
Hmm. Talk about some of the deals that you all have already done. Like what are some of the opportunities you already invested in?
Yeah, so I think I already mentioned a couple of things. So we, in terms of IP, we have Queen and King of the Court, which is a new emerging format for beach volleyball. We have Padel Copa, which is a pro paddle tour. We have XC Boxing, which is really trying to revolutionize the boxing world. We have companies like Pedal Play, where we developed a sensor which you can put underneath your pedal racket. And it tracks all your performance data and gives you real-time feedback on what to change in order to improve your game. We have with Fly Foods, we have a company combining drone technology with computer vision and AI. This is used by more than 60% of the Spanish La Liga clubs and a lot of clubs in the Bundesliga, Premier League, etc. River Plate is using it, and this tool helps these clubs to during they use it during their training, and it gives them also feedback on what to change in order to improve their setup. We have a company called Estrella Football Group, where we are building a horizontal multi-club ownership model, focusing on lower division football clubs. So we now have we have signed MOUs with 7 clubs. We have ownership of a couple of clubs already, and we want to grow towards ownership in 30, 40 clubs in the next couple of years. What we see there, we think tier one clubs are very difficult to get a significant return on because we think they're overpriced. Lower division clubs are really interesting for us because we think we can add value there very easily. By combining the reach and fan base of all these clubs, we will be as big as a big tier one football club, and it gives us a very good seat at the table at the Nike or an Adidas or any big sponsors. At the same time, we are able to use our whole ecosystem for these clubs in terms of marketing, positioning, sponsorship sales. We give them access to tools like I just mentioned, Fly Foods, which is normally used by Real Madrid or Barcelona. Lower division clubs never have access to that. They don't have the money, they don't have the experience, they don't have the knowledge. So we give them a lot of what we call unfair advantages versus their peers, and therefore we're able to really significantly improve their revenues, their P&L, and also their on-field performance.
Hmm. It's a really interesting strategy. And earlier you mentioned how the U.S. Is ahead of Europe in terms of commercialization of sports and just the business of sports. What do you think needs to be changed from a structural standpoint in Europe for the sports asset class as we know it to really take hold and have long-term upside, throughout Europe?
Uh, I think professionalize, much bigger focus on the fans, um, buy and build. So I think, as I already mentioned, it's much too fragmented, and this is why we're really trying to group a lot of things together in an ecosystem. And this is for me the key thing: building an ecosystem where there's a lot of synergy between the various assets.
Hmm. And obviously, we're seeing a lot of traditional investors looking at sports as an alternative asset class. What do you think are some of the misconceptions that people have about investing in sports?
I think it's changing, but a lot of people still, until recently, I would say, saw it as a emotional investment with a lot of risk. Yeah, so mainly that.
Hmm. And if you look at the next like 5 to 10 years for Athvance in particular, what do you hope the firm achieves within that time period, and what kind of impact are you looking to have on the overall sports industry?
Now, first of all, we want to grow in the next couple of years to a 500 million plus fund. In order for us to be able to do some significant tickets, that's the first thing. We're building our ecosystem, and this will only grow in the next 5 to 10 years. And yeah, I really want to become the number one go-to place for founders and asset owners in Europe.
Hmm. And on that note, if there's a founder that's looking to um, cut through the noise and get in front of Advance and work with you all, what advice would you give them on how to pitch and position themselves in order to possibly entice you guys to take a meeting or look at their company?
Now, listen, I think we get a lot of people, a lot of requests on our desk, and given our experience, network, and reputation in the European market, I can say that I believe that close to 100% of the available deals will come to our desk. We developed our own in-house AI tooling to really do the first shift. So we can really see what is potentially interesting for us to have further discussion on or not. So that's the first hurdle to take, I would say. Yeah, people should have a proper look at our website, Athvance.capital. I think they should listen clearly to this podcast and try to be in line with our strategy
Yeah,
and tell us where they believe the synergies are and how it would fit into our broader ecosystem.
I love it. Got to get through the tech first to get to the person.
Exactly.
Last couple of questions, Danny. What excites you the most about the sports asset class on a personal level? Like what do you foresee this space becoming, and what gets you excited on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, first of all, how lucky are we that we can work with sports, with athletes, with the whole positive energy, the drive, 24/7. I mean, I wouldn't be able to work in a different industry. As I said, I think AI is only giving a massive added value to sports. So I think the way we do sports, the way we watch sports, the way we live sports in the years to come will only change for the positive.
Hmm. And Danny, I appreciate your time. Love what you all are building with Advance. I know you mentioned it before, but where can people connect with you and also learn more about Advance?
LinkedIn, Danny Menken, very easy to find. And next to that, our website, advance.capital, and advance with ATH from athlete.
Thank you, Danny. Appreciate the time. Keep up the great work.
Thanks, Malcolm. It was a big pleasure.